She was just a bitch. I see it now. I see it. Clearly see it. I see it for what it is.
Hello. Welcome, guys. I just noticed that I have 149 new subscribers in this last month. So I want to say hello, welcome. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, for watching my videos. I appreciate you guys. The ones who've been here from the beginning, thank you. I so appreciate you all. I love having conversations, open dialogues. I like seeing conversations you guys have within each other, respectful comments. I really enjoy it. So this video, I want to talk about Critical K. My next video is going to be to Brad Mondo, because you see what I did to my hair. I'm going to attempt to put more bleach on it today before I go on vacation, and it just may be a complete disaster. I'm just trying to get it to match roots to hair. It's just been a whole big mess. I usually don't do my hair on my own. Regretfully, I did this time. So let's get into this video. I wanted to talk about Critical K because I am one who always gives credit when credit is due. And it's another reason why I'm kind of iffy becoming too close to other creators, because it's not going to stop me by making a video on you if you do something I don't like or have a strong opinion on. What I see so often around in these communities are people build these channels off of things that they don't like someone else doing, and they want to hold them accountable, call them out, and so they start these channels and they start building subscribers and others who view that same position. But what I see so often happen is they literally become what they hate. They become what they started their channels on from the beginning, and you're watching this community build, and you're seeing this other person do the same exact thing that you hate this other person for. And I don't understand why we don't hold people accountable across the board. It doesn't mean you have to dislike said person, not to agree with what they are doing. You can always respectfully say, I don't agree with this, or I don't like how you handle that. I enjoy you, but I just didn't care much for this or that. For some reason, we just cannot, as a society, do that. It's like you're either hated or you're loved. There's no in between. And so I get worried, becoming too close to creators, because a lot of people can't handle that. I can like you and call you out at the same time. I can think you are very intelligent and well-spoken and not like this act you did. So I wanted to go ahead and put this video out because I was pretty shocked. So this morning, I was listening to my music in the morning, like I always do while I'm drinking my coffee. And this picture comes along on my newsfeed. And I see Critical K, and I see Shanann Watts, I see Chris Watts, and I see the family. And I'm like, what the hell now? Are you flipping kidding me? So she's talking Watts again. Why? So I click the video, like, what in the holy hell? And I'm actually taken back. I am shocked. I am surprised. I am just tons of emotion. I have so many videos calling Kay out for being a shock jockey, someone who exploits victims, somebody who puts victims' family through hell, because she has, including the Ruseks, including Frankie. I never understood it, and that's what made me so mad at the time of watching all this go down. Because because in my mind, I'm thinking, these were innocent victims who, and that includes the family, that includes mom, dad, brother, that they woke up and their lives were forever changed by this tragedy. And this goes to, and that's why I make these videos on these people who exploit these families and treat these families like shit for gain. Because, I mean, what this innocent family was drugged through is not okay. However, watching Kay step up and say she was wrong is huge in my book. Because Kay wasn't the only one being absolutely disgusting at the time. You also have, people like Lana, who dressed up as Shanann and them for Halloween, and it was just nasty. You have nasty people like Molly Golightly, who mocked Shanann and the girls. And you have people like Natasha Cooper, who made up horrendous lies and speculations about what was going on in the case. I have yet to hear any of them. Lana did apologize, but beyond that, I don't hear anybody really stepping up and saying, I was completely wrong, that was completely nasty of me, I should never have done it. And for Kay to do that, I think it's huge. Some people don't believe her. Some people were in the comments and they were saying that they believe it's all fake. This was almost watching a completely different Kay. She was very emotional, which if you do watch Critical Kay, you will know she's almost seems cold-hearted, because she turns the emotions off. In this whole stream, she was very emotional. She talked about several things, not just the Watts, but that's all I'm really going to cover. She did speak up about the gun violence that's going on, and she brought up the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case again, which I don't agree with her on that. So she was talking about like the gun violence and how a large part of this stream was about, I can't ever say this word, misogyny. And her opinion is that is what causes all this violence, which I don't completely agree, but that's okay. I watch people all the time I don't agree with, because I want to see that different point of view. It's why I started watching Kay to the beginning of it. Her take on Mike Long and Kelly Long, I feel like she helped Kelly so much. I just feel like she went up to bat for Kelly Long, and she was very lucky to have Kay to stand up to be her voice, because Kay was a very strong voice. She was, while everybody else was, dragging this poor woman to shreds, that be the glare, Tend to Life, Kay was the voice to speak up against that, and I completely agreed with her in that case. But speaking your opinion on that, you think, the violence is due to misogyny, that doesn't have a ripple effect. That opinion is not going to hurt victims' families like the things she's done in the past. Has she changed because she got herself in deep, hot water? I don't know. Or did she really have this epiphany? Did she, as she stated, she had her light bulb moment, where she realized that it didn't matter what Shanann did. Shanann never deserved that. No matter if she was a bitch or not. No one deserves that. And, that's what a lot of us were saying from the beginning. Like, we couldn't wrap our minds how this woman was making Shanann as the Chris as the victim and Shanann as the aggressor. Like, none of it made sense. So I want to play a couple clips that I pulled from here. I will put this stream in the description box because I do urge you to go check out this stream. Hello, future me here. I want to give a warning for those, if you do go check out the stream, I want to put a little warning because some of it is very hard to watch when she starts going into like the violence. She plays, I always say his name wrong too, Matthew McConaughey. Ooh, I got it. She plays the speech he gave at the White House, which I actually had to fast forward when he was giving the victims' stories. I had not really even been able to really read into what happened at that school. I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with it in my mind because it's that horrible, and I'm so sick and tired of seeing the same things happen over and over, and I know what it's going to do to me emotionally. So I've really kind of been trying to block that. I did fast forward through him talking about the victims, but I did listen to the last part of his speech. But I did want to give a warning because towards the end of this stream, it gets very, very deep. It does. The last video I did on her, I did not give her stream. I did not put it in the description because I'm still, I'm watching to see if she's truly changed or not, or if she's just trying to get her numbers back up there. If she's really, meaningful behind this, if she really feels this way. But I do think this is a very important stream to watch. If you've been following Kay, I think you really need to go and check this out. I really do. So let's go ahead and get into the first one.
And it was easy for him to do, wasn't it? We were all just ready and chomping at the bit to hate her, to hate a woman we don't know. It was no different with Shanann Watts. And regrettably and shamefully, I was a part of that. As I said, the Watts case came about 9 months after the Me Too movement really kind of took root.
And she was receiving a lot of hate in the comments, people just saying, this isn't the Kay that I know, this Kay's too emotional, this, I don't agree with this Kay. And, I think my opinion, I think it's a huge step forward if she really means this. She does bring up the Me Too movement and all that. And she talks about at the end where she's talking about, why did that get blurry? She talks about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and how this case is going to set the Me Too movement way back. And I agree. 100% I agree. I think this was horrible for those who are being abused. I think it's going to make people look at, victims more harshly and not be so quick to believe them. And I do. However, and this is where I don't really agree with her, just because I feel like it's going to set the movement back, the goal back 10 steps. I still don't feel right about covering this up, writing this off, just because I don't want it to change the way this movement has gone. If that makes sense, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, so this is going to be number 2. Like I said, I just grabbed a few because I didn't want to use all of ours because I do want you to go and check it out in the full.
We're sitting in the morgue. They were filling my head with stories about how terrible.
And here she is talking about Chris Watts' family and how, because she interviewed Chris's ex, she was talking to mom, dad, all the relatives, and everything that they were telling her, she was spewing it as facts on her channel of very many followers. She had a huge following.
Oh, Shanann Watts. I didn't believe it all. I didn't buy into it all. But I did give them a voice. I did. I repeated what they said. I posted what they said. I fed the hyenas, the misogynistic hyenas in the group who wanted so badly to somehow find her at fault for what happened to her. Not only find her at fault for what happened to her, but to absolve him of what he did to her. And to somehow take all the years of their marriage and that led up to that moment and somehow find a way to blame her for it, and even go so far as to speculate that she had Munchausen. I'm not going to like insult or berate the people who thought that she possibly could have Munchausen, because it's not your fault. It's not your fault you thought that way. It's the Watts' fault you thought that way. It's what.
And as well, I mean, it's great that we see the light now, that we've had that light bulb moment. It still doesn't take away the pain that it caused at the time. And I think she probably understands that. And that's why she states, you know, I understand why people disliked me, hated me, why people may not even believe me now. She also opens up and shares a very personal story, something that she went through. Like I said, this whole stream, it was very emotional. Like, I feel like she really opened up and showed herself. But I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think she's doing this because she knows she has to do something different to be able to stay on this platform? She's actually ban-evading the platform. She's really not even supposed to be on here because she got herself in such hot water. Or do you think she's really just thought about what's all transpired? What has she put out in the world?
And there was many women in there that were very vocally against Shanann. And as I said, I allowed it. And it was even after we knew that she had been murdered, that she and her daughters had been murdered. And the picking apart of her profile and the looking for reasons how she drove this mild-mannered, fabulous guy who what everybody thought appeared to be a great dad and, a great husband. I myself interviewed his ex-girlfriend, his only singular ex-girlfriend, who swore up and down he was a fabulous guy and all he wanted was to be a dad. He was a great guy. So what must it be about Shanann? What must be lurking there in this proverbial Eve that she destroyed her family? She must somehow be the cause. And women were so ready to do that to her. It was women. And I got sucked into it. I did. Why did I get sucked into it, though? I think what happened was I allowed the commentary. I allowed the post. If anybody stood up and said, "What the hell is this? Stop it. This is gross. What are you doing? She's a victim and you're blaming her." And I reacted by blocking those people. I reacted by saying, "I don't want to hear it. Stop. I don't want to hear it. Your side has had your say long enough. Maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something we need to understand here about what's going on between men and women. Maybe there's a bigger story here to understand. I mean, it's not just as simple as, quote, a family annihilator kills his wife and kids for a new piece. Maybe it's not that simple. Maybe there's something there. Maybe the dialogue and the discussion will bring it out. Maybe I'll have a better understanding when all is said and done. I couldn't stand.
And see, I always just felt it was that simple. Also, another thing that really bothered me about Kay is because her whole thing was based on critical thinking. And critical thinking means listening to all opinions, whether they align with ours or not. She was so big on that. And you're watching this person who's drilling that in nonstop, and those who she perceives as not able to do critical thinking, she used to call those who didn't agree with her peasants. And then she would take something like this, a little kazoo, and I don't know how to use a kazoo, but she would do that. She would not let people speak. She would play little tiny violins. Oh, cry, cry. And she would go after people. And you know what made me like side? Because there was somebody in her comment section was like, I missed that, Kay. You just are looking for drama. Like, that's all you care about. What is wrong with you? But that's how I thought about it. I'm like, you're supposed to be this critical thinking person, but anybody who opposes your opinion, you speak over, you mock them, you block them, you make fun of them. There's this another creator, and she belittled her so horribly bad. Her and I believe his name was Luis or something like that. I mean, they just really tore into this lady, and she did not deserve it, not one bit. It was horrible to watch. And there were so many of those occasions, which is why I made videos on Kay. Do I think Kay is a very intelligent woman? And I've said this from the beginning, even when I made videos opposing Kay. I think she is a very intelligent woman. I think she could go very, very far. I do. I think she gets in her own way. That shock jockey, which I understand it's going to pull people in. People want to watch a train wreck. I get it. That's why it makes me so mad when people talk about you're clout chasing, or you want views, you just want the numbers, blah, blah, blah. I could get it. I could get it very fast. But to be able to do that, I would have to trade my morals and my integrity. And I'm not that type of person. But unfortunately, there are so many people on this platform who just don't care. And that's exactly what they do. They trade in their morals and integrity and just to get these high numbers and views. I don't want it that bad. I really don't. I like to lay my head on my pillow at night and know that I've put good in this world, or my heart came from a good place. So that was another thing when it came to Kay. I didn't understand it. But it seems like she's, doing, thinking about it. I think this is the last clip.
Now, I'm featured by Jenny Popplewell on the Netflix documentary Calling Shanann a Bitch. It was wrong. It wasn't fair. It doesn't matter if she was a bitch. And even back then, I didn't intend to imply that she deserved to lose her life because she was a bitch. But I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? So what if she was a bitch to him? So what if she was a bitch to anyone in the coffee shop down the road? So what if she worked for an MLM? So what if she made choices I wouldn't have made? I hate the fact that my voice is featured in that documentary and that I am perceived that way, because it's not how I am. I have this vantage point now of looking at all the other cases that I've covered and everything that's happened after that point. I have this vantage point, and what stands out in such stark relief to me is the ingrained misogyny that runs through so many of these cases, and that is pervasively reaching out its ugly, cancerous tentacles and affecting us on social media, is stripping us of our empathy and our compassion for other women. Shanann Watts was a domestic violence victim, period. End of story. Her life ended violently.
And you may not think that that's huge, but I feel like her saying this is huge. And I also agree with how we treat women. I do it as well. We do tend to give men more breaks. We do tend to hold women to a higher standard. I don't know what that is about, but I do agree with her on that. But I would like to hear what you guys think. Again, I've asked the question, do you think it's just because she's trying to, stay safe on this platform, to gain her, subscribers back, to, because right before she got her channel taken down, she actually quit her job. She was going to make YouTube a full-time job, and shortly after, she got kicked off YouTube. Or has she had a awakening? Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have a great weekend. This is probably going to be the last video I get out before I go on vacation. But keep your eye out. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. That would be awesome. Hit the notification bell, because if you do not hit that notification bell, you're not going to know when I put a video out. And I don't really have a set schedule just yet. I am a procrastinator. Also, what else? Like this video, that would be great. And as always, you guys, until next time, please stay safe. Bye, guys. Jazz fingers. Bye, guys.